What's up, guys? I think we are live here. Give me just a second to figure this out. Looks like we're live. Yeah, welcome in here for another Monday update. Looks like the internet's being a little slow today. Hopefully, everybody's here with me and can see me. Leave me a comment if everything is going smoothly. There we go. Looks like it's not working now. So, yeah, leave me a comment if you guys are in here. I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Had a couple exciting things this weekend that I want to talk about, and then I'll talk about a bunch of stuff we have coming up. Some that we've talked about before, some that we haven't, and a couple new things that I'm excited for everybody to find out about. Let me tag everybody here, but yeah, drop me a comment or an emoji or something in here if you guys are in and if everything is working smoothly. So yeah, we're going to do this a little different today. I'm going to save the announcements for last and talk about the weekend recap. We had a huge weekend for the crew down in Branson. So we're going to talk about some of those matches and then we'll talk about FAC just a little bit. But first of all, the Alexanders and the Gormans went down to Branson this weekend and crushed it down there. Super proud of how everybody performed down there. I've got to see pretty much all the matches. I think some of the videos are still loading as they're sending to me on Facebook. But I've gotten to see quite a few matches. So I'm going to talk about what I did see and then yeah, we'll go from there. But first of all, let me just talk about the kids. So Wesley, Waylon, and then Briar and Eva all competed at the Jiu-Jitsu tournament down in Branson, and we're all on fire this weekend, right? Like they all looked incredible in every match that I've seen so far. Really good technique and stuff everywhere. So we only had 4 youth competitors. But if this tells you how good we did, out of 46 teams, Stride placed 8th out of 46 with only 4 competitors. So that's pretty awesome. The kids went 13-3 for the day. Yeah, doesn't get much better than that. So super proud of how all of them performed. But let's talk about each one individually here a little bit. From the matches that I did see, we're going to start with Waylon Alexander, who stepped up this weekend in a couple different ways, but went double gold, and then in no-gi ended up moving up into the intermediate bracket. So it moved up into like where the gray belts and all that would be. Double gold, looked super impressive, going up against some big kids. And one of my favorite matches of the whole weekend, and this is kind of a theme for all of them that I wanted to talk about here a little bit, is, none of these victories were just like easy pushovers this weekend. These kids had to persevere and battle through and work out of some bad spots, and then would come out on top and find submissions with good and good control, with good technique the whole time. So that was kind of the story of every match. But one of my favorite matches of Waylon's was where he did get stuck in mount right at the beginning, and then was able to battle out of it, get up on top, and then secure an Americana, which is something, we've worked in class here several times. So I was super happy to see that. And, I think those are the most valuable rounds you get in tournaments anyway, or the most valuable matches you get in tournaments anyway. It's not the quick, but being able to go through a little adversity and come back, battle through the bad spots, and find those victories. So super proud of Waylon getting double gold this weekend. And then in Jiu-Jitsu, pretty cool too. If you win in gi and no gi, you get the nice belt that John has left his hanging up here on the wall. And I know both the boys are coming home with Jiu-Jitsu belts, which is pretty awesome. So super proud of Waylon and how he looked and performed this weekend. Wesley has been an absolute dominator. He got 1st and 2nd. I should know which one was gi and which one was no gi, but either way, all of the matches that I've seen so far of him, he just was a really good control everywhere, especially when he would find that mount position. Just stayed super low and heavy in those good spots. And again, there was a couple matches where he did get put on his back, but was able to reverse it, find that top position. Once he finds it, man, he's not letting anybody out. Looked really good. And like I said, with both of those kids, they didn't have any pushovers in any of their brackets, right? Like they were battling through some tough spots. And I've said this a million times in here. I've said it on this video. I've said it in class. Like that's the stuff that, like, starting out, if you watch kids when in their first tournament, a lot of times they get stuck in those spots and they just can't work out of it. Not because they don't know the technique, but they've haven't been stuck that way before. And Wesley and Waylon both battled through, and really all the kids. I'm gonna get to Eva and Briar too, but all of them were able to battle through those tough spots, which is something that is can only be taught with experience and time of doing it. And I was just so impressed with both the boys this weekend of being able to deal with any adversity that would come at them and keep coming forward and eventually find those big victories. So I'm super proud of Wesley and Waylon. And then again, they competed last weekend and then this weekend too. So staying super active, and that's only gonna make their games just level up. So yeah, congratulations, Alexander boys. Super proud of both of you guys, and excited to see those belts. Hopefully you guys bring them in tonight and show them off. So next on my list though, Briar, again, had some battles this weekend. She had I haven't got to see. WhatsApp is still loading some of the matches on there too. But yeah, so I haven't got to see all of them, but the one I did get to see that I was most impressed with is she was battling through some really bad spots and used really good technique. And that's kind of what I was trying to get at with the Alexander boys too, is like, in these tournaments, you can roll in here, but that pressure of a tournament that where the mat's surrounded, it's loud, it's crazy, there's tons of people. It's so hard to, even if you know the techniques, to sometimes implement them in there. And Briar did an amazing job, both on top in dominant positions and whenever she was on her back. One of my favorite matches of hers, she's, we've been working on mount escapes, and she gets stuck in mount and just immediately is hands on the hips, bumping and shrimping and pushing out, and ends up getting out of mount and getting to that top position. And yeah, it was just so cool to see, because that's a lot of the stuff we've been working in class too, is escaping mount. And then whenever she got to top position, staying nice and low, trying to pin the arms. Just did a really, really good job this weekend. Walked away with a silver medal. Super proud of Briar. And again, there's not none of these matches like there wasn't. It was all tough competition for all the kids, and Briar really went out there and performed this weekend. I thought was aggressive in the takedowns and really pushed the pace and implemented her game. So congratulations, Briar, on a great weekend. Excited to hear all about it. And then Eva was an absolute dominator this weekend, right? I got to see both of her matches, and man, just did everything perfectly, right? Found that top position really, really well, and then just got to mount and then settled in and waited for whatever opportunity was given to her. This is something I've done in the adult class at noon. Is like we've talked about getting them out and pinning that arm, and then just kind of like waiting for whatever is given to you. And that's really what Eva did. She got dominant position. One time she found the Americana. The other time she pinned that arm and gift wrapped right to the back and finished the choke. And again, these are all battles, but man, she looked so good this weekend. Super proud of how Eva performed this weekend. Just was an absolute dominator on the mat. So congratulations, Eva, on a dominant gold medal and being able to use that good clean technique in the high pressure situations when somebody's trying to stop it at 100%. There was no stopping Eva this weekend. She was on fire, and it's my favorite thing as a coach to see things that we work on in class get implemented in the highest stress situation, right? The highest, like, and for people who don't do jiu-jitsu, it's so hard to understand like what that pressure is like. And so to be able to do it at that level in that scenario is super impressive. It's impressive to do it in here whenever you're rolling with friends in here, but it's even more impressive whenever you're rolling against somebody you don't know, you've never rolled with before. Their coach is screaming at them. There's people screaming on the sidelines. To be able to implement the technique as cleanly as really all the kids did, but Eva specifically in that Americana and gift wrap position is super impressive, and super proud of her. Looking forward to watching her continue to grow and compete. And then Carson was our only adult that competed this weekend. I know not all the matches went the way he wanted, but I think it says a lot just to go out there and compete at. Carson's talked about doing this one since last year, and the higher belts you get, the harder it is to find competition because there's not as many people compete. And Carson went out this weekend against some big, very tough competition and went for it. And I think he's only going to continue to improve and get better from it. Had a couple good wins. Again, I haven't got to see all of them yet. I'm still waiting on it to load. Haven't got to talk to him about all the matches yet, but I think, something Jake Beggs used to say a lot whenever he was in here, before he hurt his back. He competed a lot at like IBJF tournaments and just competed a lot in general at high levels, and had talked about how, at those higher levels, really it's about who implements their game first, right? And like I said, I haven't got to talk to Carson a lot about his matches this weekend, but I think he just got drug into a little bit of the other guy's game instead of getting to play his in some of them. And but again, huge props to him to go out there and represent a high level like that, stepping in as a purple belt to compete at all is super impressive. And going up against some monsters this weekend, both technically and like size wise. He had some big guys in his bracket. So looking forward to watching how Carson takes away everything from this weekend and continues to smash people. And we're probably all in trouble whenever he gets back on the mat this week and starts coming back with a vengeance. So great job this weekend, everybody that competed. Again, super impressed how everybody performed and looked. And I think the matches this weekend were all ones that I saw that are gonna win, lose, or draw, are gonna make us better individually and as a team. There's a lot we can learn from them and take away from it. So super thankful for all of you guys going out there and putting it on the line to help make yourselves better and make the teammates better and be an example for, Carson's a great example for everybody else. In here, it's easy once you get that higher belt to just, kind of set back and chill and level off. And Carson's not doing that. He's going out there and testing his skills and setting a good example for everybody else in the class. I know he's always calling out the white belts, telling them to get in there and compete. And he leads by example doing that this weekend. So great job, everybody, this weekend. Looking forward to the next one, whatever that may be, which we will talk about here in a little bit. Other thing that happened this weekend, we had FAC, which I am very just lucky, I feel like, to commentate every time I get to do it. I'm shocked that they choose me to do it. It was super cool seeing so many stride people there. We didn't have we only had the one intermission this time, and I had to go to the bathroom so bad that I ran back to the back during the intermission and didn't really get to see too many people. It is always cool to know that there were so many stride people there, and super awesome. The next one is September 25th, I believe, is the next FAC. And again, hopefully we'll have some, hopefully maybe Garrett will get on the card or Shane will get on the card for that one. We'll see. But either way, I hope we'll see you guys at that one too. It's just always a lot of fun to have people from the gym in the crowd and getting to see you guys and just have a good time outside the gym. So, FAC was a good time. And, one of the things we're going to talk about here probably next week, I'm not going too in depth this week. This will probably be, maybe 30 minutes at the longest today. One of the things I'm going to talk about in the next coming weeks is the differences between what I feel, how you can be the most effective in MMA with Jiu-Jitsu, and just kind of the differences between the two. That's something we're gonna talk about next week on here and discuss that, because I think there's a lot of good things that MMA style can provide to Jiu-Jitsu. It's kind of just one of those things where you need to know the differences and know what you can do and what you can't do. But the style of MMA where you have to be attacking, I think can be very beneficial and make you push the pace a little bit more. So anyway, we'll get to that next week. FAC was a lot of fun. Appreciate all of you guys that came out and that I got to see everybody there for that. I think we're ready to get to some announcements. Does anybody have any questions or comments they want to drop down in the box? Let me know who's still here and still listening. I see John and Amber have left an emoji. I haven't seen anything else yet, but this thing's a little finicky. Last time there was comments that I didn't see until afterwards. So, yep, leave something in there for me if you guys are watching. I'd appreciate it. And yeah, we're gonna get to some announcements that we have coming up. I'm gonna be busy on Facebook today, uploading a bunch of different things that we have coming up because I've been very behind on all of it. But let's start talking about those events today. The first one, let me make sure I'm in the right spot here. Yeah, so we have the something that I haven't talked about yet, and I'm just gonna kind of start to talk about it here to get it on everybody's radar because I think it'll be super awesome. Is a preseason wrestling class that Coach Nick is planning on running. I'll provide a lot more details for this as we get closer, but this is going to be for ages 12 plus, so kids and adults, some of my older class and the adults can jump in this together if they would like. But yeah, it's a preseason like wrestling class. I'm going to be multiple times a week is the plan. Again, I'm going to provide all the details on this stuff as we get closer, but it's going to run mid-August to the end of October. So lots of good opportunities to get some good training in. Wrestling is only going to help your jiu-jitsu for sure. I've talked about this before, and actually Miller is the example I always like to use. For those of you that know Miller, I know he's been in some adult classes recently, but has also one in the older kids class as well. I mean, this kid, I remember from my old gym, whenever he was like, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 or something, he went and he came in and trained, did jiu-jitsu, and then he went off for a season of wrestling. And when he came back, it was a whole different person, right? He was just launching everybody, and that wrestling experience and wrestling base can just be such a huge addition to your jiu-jitsu game. And I think it's going to be awesome and great for the gym as a whole to have some straight wrestling classes going on. We'll have some straight wrestlers in here too, that Coach Nick has been working with, that this class was really originally kind of started to help them get ready for wrestling season. And but it'll be great for all of our adults and our older kids to jump in there and get some good wrestling experience. So again, more details will be posted on that in the coming days. But I wanted to at least get that on everybody's radar and have you guys start planning ahead because another thing, Nick and I have talked about this a lot. Tim Elliott and I talked about it this weekend on the commentary too. It's like wrestling is such like a cheat code for jiu-jitsu and MMA for a couple different reasons. One, your base and control and just grind that you build in these wrestling classes is something that's just extremely hard to deal with, right? We saw a couple different matches at FAC where it's like one of the kids was just like so tired, but he was a high level wrestler and was able to battle through and still wrestle and dominate while he's exhausted, right? Like, so there's that aspect of the mental and the grind, but also if you start a match with a big takedown, it puts the other person on the defensive right away, which makes it, it's like a little cheat code to start out the match. If the person has to start working off defensively right away, or they fall to their back super hard, they're still trying to get their breath back. Meanwhile, you're passing the side control, getting them out, and they're working backwards at that point. So the wrestling class will be awesome just for a different little bit of a style, get a great, push and grind in, and then develop your base, develop your transitions on the takedowns and chaining things and setting up takedowns, all that stuff. Super excited for that. So again, more details to come in the future, but that's going to be mid-August through the end of October. We'll have multiple times a week. I think we're going to do like 3 times a week, a wrestling class that Coach Nick is going to run. And again, there'll be some different faces in here that you'll get a chance to wrestle and get taken down by probably too. So come get some good looks in for that. If anybody has any questions about that, let me know. But again, I'll post up more stuff as we get closer. Next tournament coming up though that we have here locally is August 2nd, the Summit Grappling Tournament. In Raytown. I don't believe we have anybody signed up yet, but if anybody's planning on going to that one, definitely let me know. It'd be a good chance to get one in here locally. relatively soon. I don't know what all else is coming before the end of the year. There's not a ton of big ones coming before the end of the year. We'll probably have something in October. Um, but locally, not a ton of stuff coming before the end of the year. So the Summit Grappling August 2nd would be a good one to get to if you guys are interested. I think it's submission only rule set too. So it's always a fun rule set to compete under. So then August 7th. So during the month of August, we're going to have our Tiny Tots BJJ class that me and Coach Tyler are going to run. That's going to be on Fridays at 4. That is full already. There's that program is sold out, but that's going to be at 4. At 5 on August 7th, we're going to do a youth MMA class. We have a few kids doing the MMA scrimmage down in Liberty on the 22nd of August. So this would be a good chance to get everybody in to do some striking, and we'll probably do a little bit of like light sparring in that one too. It's going to be 5 to 6 right after that Tiny Tots class on August 7th. And we might do another one too before the scrimmage, but I'll post up details of that today. Like I said, I'm planning on being busy on Facebook today. We're going to post up the youth MMA class, the place to register for that. You can also do it here at the gym, or and then the other thing that's going to be going up is the Paul Kolenda seminar, which is the next day, August 8th at 11. Yeah, I feel like I'm throwing a lot of stuff out here at once, but hopefully, if you guys have any questions about any of it, hopefully it's review for some of us. But yeah, youth MMA class is going to be on August 7th, 5 to 6 p.m. And then on August 8th, Paul Kolenda seminar at 11. One of the things I was going to mention about this seminar, guys, like I got to talk to Paul about it this weekend. I'm super excited about it. He has a lot of good stuff in a bunch of different areas, but he's going to work some different leg lock transitions so we can kind of continue some of the stuff that some different entries that will feed into the things that Brian Harris taught as well. And then just a bunch of different stuff that I know he's super excited about. I'm super excited about it as well to get him in here. We've been talking about it for a long time. And we're finally going to get to do it. And you know, one of the biggest things with these seminars, I try to hold a lot of seminars. I think we do more than most. But seminars can be an absolute, just like a little moment that changes your whole game, right? And I have a few different examples of this, but sometimes when you get just locked into class after class after class after class, it's easy to forget what you learned that day and hard to implement those changes. Sometimes seminars can tie a specific event to a specific move, and it makes it a little easier to remember and can change your game completely. So I'm super excited to have Paul in here on August the 8th at 11. I hope everybody comes out for that. It's free for Stride members. Yeah, I really hope everybody makes it out for that, because seminars have been, for me, some of the most complete 180s of my game that I've ever had. And the example I always give, and the biggest one that sticks out in my mind, is this is probably 2009 or something. I went to the little backstory. There's this kid that came into the gym, and I was the youngest one really in the gym at the time, training MMA with a bunch of grown men, and I was probably 16 years old, 15 years old, something like that. And this other kid about my age came in, and he had done judo for a while and just beat the brakes off me, right? Like it was so, like, it's so memorable because my coach and a lot of teammates and people that I look up to are sitting there watching while I'm having this round, and they're like talking through it. And like, it was like a tournament, but it was just in the gym and this kid training. And this kid smashed me. He armbarred both my arms in different times and popped my elbows. Like, I remember I was like sore for weeks afterwards, but this kid put it on me. He was way better than me for sure. And would just walk through me. And then I went down to an Eddie Bravo seminar in Springfield, and Eddie went through the very basic rubber guard path, right? Like, and I've probably, if you've been in a class where I've taught rubber guard, you've probably already heard this story, and I apologize. But I went down, did this seminar, and he taught, I've been to several Eddie seminars, and this is probably the most basic thing he had ever taught. But whenever I came back from that seminar, I had a goal, like, get this kid in rubber guard, and I went from being smashed by this kid repeatedly over and over and over again, like he could submit me almost at will, that if I could get him in rubber guard, I could get him with something, right? And it completely changed my game for a really long time, and gave me a guard that I felt like was dangerous. And it's memorable because of that specific seminar, right? So, and I have multiple different examples for several different parts of my game to where this happened. Um, but if you can tie an event or a specific role to a specific move, it's something I feel like sticks with you a lot longer term. And seminars, that I think is a perfect example of how, I went from getting smashed, and then the next weekend after the seminar, I'm able to control this kid and start to submit him. Kind of completely changed my game. So take advantage of these seminars. And this is anytime somebody comes in the gym, like I said, it doesn't have to be a seminar. It can be a specific role that's memorable, a different role from your typical things, right? And you can learn a lot in those moments. One of my good friends, Clay Gall, who's a brown belt, who's just an absolute stud, came in on Saturday for the open mat. And I think it's we should be taking advantage of those rounds with those guys, right? Like Clay has so much knowledge to offer. Brian Harris comes in here on Mondays and has so much knowledge to offer. Jump in, get your rounds with Coach Nick. Feel free to call me out anytime, right? And try to just steal as much knowledge as you possibly can. And that's really from everybody. But whenever you're going with somebody you maybe don't normally go with, sometimes those moves and knowledge that you steal can be a little more memorable. So, with all that said, I hope to see everybody at the Paul Kolenda seminar August 8th at 11 a.m. We will not have the adult open mat that morning. The seminar will start right after the kids class that morning. So, if anybody has any questions about that, I feel like I just rambled on, and I don't even know if I made any sense, but hopefully there was something valuable to take away in that. But if nothing else, hope to see you guys all August 8th at 11 for Paul's seminar. I know he's excited. I'm excited. And we're going to all level up that day for sure. So, last thing I'm going to mention here, and this is a ways away, but I've created the Facebook group for ADCC Nashville. Anybody that wants to go to Nashville in September, it's the weekend of September 19th is ADCC Nashville. It's their open. ADCC Texas was so much fun and such a good event. I hope that even if you don't want to compete, come out and watch ADCC. Nashville would be a really good time. We do have a block of rooms at a hotel that's like right next to it too. So that's in the Facebook group and those sort of things. We'll kind of use it for different things that we'll have planned that weekend and just have a really good time, both on the mats and off the mats. I think we have a good sized group going already, but anybody that's interested that has not been added to the Facebook group yet, please let me know. I'll add you in there so you guys can get access to all that stuff. It only takes me a couple seconds, and I would love to have anybody that wants to go, because I think there's, I know I learned a ton in Texas, and I know Nashville will be the same way. Should be a ton of fun. So I think that's all I got, guys. Is there any questions for me down in the comments? I will hang in here for just a second. I appreciate everybody that has tuned in today and that jumps in here every week and listens to me blabble. But yeah, I think that's all I got, guys. If anybody has any questions, definitely let me know. I know August and September are both going to be absolutely packed every single weekend. We pretty much have something going on. So we will stay busy on here on the updates for a while. But if you guys have questions about any of it, definitely let me know. But these busy months, I love, guys. Like I'm so excited about everything we have coming up in August. I'm so excited about everything we have coming up in September. I haven't even got to half those events yet. We got FAC again in September. The next night is going to be a blue corner, which I believe Lakota's on too. So we have tons of fun stuff coming up in the next several months. We have the MMA scrimmage in the end of August too. So so much fun stuff coming up, guys. And these months are the months where you really can level up and add to your game. Like I said, if you can tie moves back to a specific event or time or specific role, it makes it memorable long term. And we have lots of events coming up, lots of different knowledge is going to be in the room in the next several months. And yeah, hope to see you guys all in here for all of it. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message. Oh, yes, stair climb. Amber just mentioned too. That I don't even see. Even more stuff's not on the list. The stair climb will be September 11th. That was an amazing event last year, and I'll definitely get stuff posted for that pretty soon because, yeah, everybody I think that went to the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb at Arrowhead last year will tell you it was a great event, and I think is looking forward to it again this year too. So, yeah, we'll talk about that more as we get closer, but definitely put that on your guys' calendars for September 11th. I don't even know what day of the week that is, but the gym will be closed that day so that we can all go do the stair climb. When is the 11th? Let's look here. August, September. So the 11th is Friday, so we don't have anything on Friday anyway. So hope to see everybody at the stair climb too. But again, you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. Let me know. Looking forward to seeing everybody on the mats here tonight. Let's take all of the knowledge we gained from this weekend, whether you were on the mats, whether you were watching Jiu-Jitsu or watching MMA this weekend. Bring all that we should come in almost every weekend like this with just a bunch of new stuff that we want to try or a different mindset on how we want to roll and how we want to compete and come in fired and ready to go on Monday. So I hope to see everybody here tonight, getting better on the mats. And yeah, I think that's all I got, guys. Have a great day, and we will see you guys really soon for class.